Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. This is Tim Humphrey. Today's video is about Achtung Baby. Do an album review and we're gonna review the songs and then do an overall rating on the album. This album came out in October 1991. Um, I remember buying it. Uh, Probably in November, shortly after it came out, and I remember the like Billboard magazine or maybe it was Rolling Stone or something like that. They've kind of changed their minds, but I remember at the time they definitely slagged this record. Um, they didn't like it. They didn't. I don't think they understood it. And there's not, like in a way, like the Beatles. In a way, they want to be U2. They want to. I mean, the U2 want to be the Beatles, right? Be remembered like the Beatles. And in a way, this is like their revolver, right? This is maybe the album that the press didn't understand, or the maybe was a little bit ahead of their time in some ways. And you know, it was interesting because if you guys know U2 and you remember at the end of the Joshua Tree album, Bono was like, I want to go away for a while and think this up again, and this is what they came up with. This whole image and whole style and whole new rock attitude and stuff like that, and it worked, and it worked for the rest of their career in a way. It kind of gave Bono a different image, and the band were a lot cooler, for a little bit, anyways. um, you know, uh, it gave them a new life to be different, and I think that's one of the things that I most remember, about Achtung Baby and of course, Zoo TV and the Zooropa tours, which were, I got a chance to go to the Zoo TV in Anaheim Stadium. I think it was August of 1992 with Public Enemy and Sugar Cubes opening up for him, and we were really close to the catwalk, so we had really good tickets, and it was a really good show. I mean, they put on a great show. It was visually entertaining. It was a lot of things to look at. I love the uses of the extra TVs and the lights and the different sizes TVs, and it was like everywhere you looked at, it was something to look at. I mean the new album worked well with it. It was kind of crunchy and media, and it was so different that it almost in some ways kind of alienated the rest of their back catalog. Like when they went to like Streets of No Name and Pride, and it just maybe didn't work so much with that album because it was just so much different than what they had done in the past in some ways. And as the last 33 years have gone on, the album's got a lot more respect than it did originally. That's for sure. Um, this is a secondhand CD. I do have the original CD that had the cardboard fold out. Great packaging, by the way. Great artwork. Great pictures. It's one of the coolest looking rock albums of all time, in my opinion. It's just, it's just super cool. Let the colors pop on it. I mean, it's just a lot to look at. A lot of cool, colors and different things to look at, and you can see like different textures too. Like you got like leather on there. You got metal with the rings, and there's like shiny stuff here, and what I mean, look like different times where they're taking pictures, and sort of look like in Spain. There's like a pinata thing up here, and I think this is the cover of the Fly out single right here, band up here. Just a really cool, a lot of artwork. I love the cars, love the old German cars, and I mean Bono just has the look, man. He did it. You gotta hand it to the guy. Looking back after kind of exhausted that look, going through, but just in a lot of ways, just a very cool looking artwork and packaging. Um, I do have here's the cassette as well. and this is a 2018 repress. I've always been a big fan of this album. Um, I do like it in many ways. Um, and it holds a lot of memories, especially with the tour. I have I still have the cardboard one. It's actually um, I do got a little bit of I'm not a huge U2 fan at all. I like some albums. I like some songs, but I wouldn't say I'm a, an above average U2 fan. Although I have, I really like Unforgettable Fire. I really like October. I like some of certainly some of Achtung Baby. I like, of course, and I like a little bit of Zeropa. I like a little bit of Joshua Tree. I'm not a huge fan of War and Boy, the early albums, not so much in that stuff, but I do have it's a signed Elevation Tour leather jacket signed by all four members that my girlfriend got for me back in like 2001, and I got it framed, and so that's always been I got it framed in fiberglass, and it's a it's one of my one of my highlights on the wall as far as like it's just something. Looks like something from Hard Rock Cafe. I remember it cost me like $1,200 just to frame it, some fiberglass, and unfortunately, recently when I moved here and I hung it up, it fell off and cracked, and so that's kind of unfortunate. But it's not a huge crack; it's just kind of at the bottom you can kind of see it, and but it's a really nice piece. I put the poster in behind it. I put a 45 in there, and I think my Zoo TV tour tickets are in there, and the Achtung Baby fold out album, and then at the bottom is Joshua Tree fold out record of the band. So it's a nice little wall piece I've had since 2001 when my girlfriend got it for me for my 25th birthday. We had gone to the All You Can Leave Behind tour, and that was really the end of my following the band. There wasn't a great album. I liked New York on that album. Other than that, it wasn't very good, and I didn't buy any of the albums after that. For me, like U2 in many ways we're kind of over with by then. It was from what I was hearing, it was everything was the Elevation and Vertigo, and um, yeah, just not really my style of U2, and not really what I look for when I look for a rock album. So I fell a love with them probably after Zeropa, or actually, I mean, I had Pop. I did buy Pop, but Pop was an interesting album. Then trying to do some electronic music, but had some good points. But it's kind of looked at as like a not a great album in their discography. But yeah, back to Octane Baby, anyways. But yeah, let's take a look at the songs, and then we'll rate the album together. Or not really together, but you'll be watching it and I'll be doing it. But so Zoo Station, the first song. I really like the guitar, and the static is really great. It's got a strong groove. I like when Edge comes in with the atmospheric air guitar, kind of airy sounding guitar. The bass is a little sloppy, but it's powerful. I like it. I like Larry Mullen's bass, even though it's a little sloppy. It's a catchy song. The vocal effects are cool. The verse and the chorus are good. The bridge is where the smoothness kind of works. Overall, I feel like it's a strong opener. It's kind of got that, I wouldn't say bullet in the blue sky kind of, but it kind of has that power. It's a really strong song and groove. I got it 3.25 stars, so definitely a very good song. One of the better songs on the album, I feel like. And then you got Even Better Than the Real Thing. It's a good rock song. Everything is pretty okay. It's fairly catchy. I like the bridge. The bass line and the guitar solo are good. Chorus maybe goes on a little too long, and it's fairly average anyways. So I got it a little bit above. I got it as a good song. It's 2.25 stars. So right about halfway through my rating system, right in the good, on the lower side of good. Then you have One. It's a good song. It's sung well. Lots of emotion. Good lyrics. Guitar at the end is strong. Good acoustic song. I got it 3.5 stars. It's a strong song. probably overplayed and probably in some ways probably bored people to tears that it was on so much, but I can't knock it for being a good song. You know, Bono sings it well, and it's a good kind of acoustic song, and it works, and it's I think it's a very good song. You know, then we got Until the End of the World, pretty strong song throughout. I think it's kind of underrated on the album. I like it better than Even Better Than the Real Thing for sure. Um, I really like the bridge after the second chorus, the guitar solo. It's one of the better solos on the album. I almost have it at very good. I got it 2 and 3, 4 stars, so right below very good. It's a really strong song, really good song. I got it on the higher side of good for sure. Then you got Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. I like the moody part in the middle. It's a good song. Don't really have too much to say about it. Pretty straightforward. It's a good song. I got it right in the middle of good. It's 2.5 stars. So Cruel, not one of the better songs on the album. It's not bad. It's I guess I don't know what kind of fan it appeals to for you two. Maybe maybe some girls think it's like a love song or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of one of the weaker songs on the album. I really have it as in the middle of okay. Got 1.5 star. So by looking at the rating, it's the second worst song on the album for me. Then we got The Fly, which is the opening single. Here's the single. If you guys don't know, the lounge mix is super cool. I really like The Fly. I thought not only did I think it should have done better in the charts, it was way too ahead of the time. It really threw everybody off. It's being the first single from the album. Um, I think it's a really strong song. I like it in a lot of ways. I love the guitar, the way the bass sneaks up on you, and little things like the shaker, like it's cool. I never thought I'd mention a cool shaker. I like the crunchy lyrics. The drumming's good. The chorus is perfect. I really like the chorus. It's the guitar solo is great. It's up there. It's probably the best guitar solo on the album. In fact, I think it's up there with Gloria and New Year's Day as some of the probably the best guitar solos Edge has ever done. I think it's a great uh, bridge and guitar solo. I like how Bono sings the song sort of softly, and then he speaks closer to the mic, and then you have him in the background, so he's also in the background. It's really cool effect. The ending is good. I feel like the ending may have come a little different, but it kind of goes back to the rough, the more edgier part of the song, and that's cool. I feel like it could have ended with the more nicer chorus and stuff like that, but it kind of goes back to the harshness of the original song. I got it really close to being an excellent song. I got it the best song on the album for me, 3 and 3/4 stars. It's pretty close to being excellent. I really like it. I just don't feel like it really fully gets there, and I can't really pinpoint any reason why. I just don't feel like it's that good. Um, Mysterious Ways. Here's the single for Mysterious Ways. Not the best remixes on here, but I did buy it time. Um, Not a bad song. It's catchy. I feel like it was a little corny. I've never been a huge fan of the song. I like the bass line and the guitar riffs are pretty cool. I do admit though it is a good pop song. It's catchy. I got it 2 and 3/4 songs, but I can't give it a very good score. I can't give it a 3 into the very good. I just feel like it's not there. Then you have Trying to Throw Your Arms Around the World. I don't have too much to say about this one. The lyrics are kind of corny. It's not bad, but it's not good. I got it at 1 star. I don't think it really belongs on the album. It's like I don't know. Was Bono trying to be like Frank Sinatra or something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Um, I guess in a way it sort of adds a little humor, maybe a little bit of not seriousness in it, but I don't know if it really works that well with the album. Ultra, Light My Way. One of the better riffs on the album. I really like the chorus. It's a little long. The opening's kind of like 50 seconds till it gets in, and a little long. I really like the drumming. Another thing I've never thought I'd say. I really like the tambourine in it. It kind of has a cool kind of sound in it. Um, it goes well with the rhythm of the song. Really well with the song. In fact, enough to mention a tambourine. Singing is great. I think really Bono sings it really well. It's an atmospheric riff. The bridge is really strong. Oh, oh tomorrow, love. Oh tomorrow, love. That's my best impression of Edge. But I like when Edge kind of does that singing, that kind of background singing. I'm trying to think of what other songs he's kind of done that in, but I really think he has a nice background voice. I don't think they really use him enough when sing. I mean, he does sing a lot, but you don't really. He doesn't necessarily sing in a different octave or sing like in a different part a lot of times. I mean, he does occasionally, but maybe a song or two an album. But I think he does really well when he does it. I can't think of. There's probably some better ones that he does. I just can't think of it off the hand. Um, but yeah, he does that well. It's one of the better songs on the album. I have it tied for second best with one for 3.5 stars. Really underrated song. I'm surprised it wasn't a single. I'm sure they went back and forth, and reluctantly decided not to be a single. I can see the other songs are more outgoing, maybe even better than the real thing, and mysterious ways and the fly. I can see how them being a little bit more different. Maybe more grab your attention. But Ultraviolet's super smooth. I think it's kind of the dark horse on the album, and I think it's the start of the last three songs of the album ending kind of alternatively and 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 cool. I really like it. I think Ultraviolet's kind of like it's kind of a U2 staple. I think not necessarily that they played a lot, but I think it has all the hallmarks of a really good U2 song and what makes them good. Like they can harmonize pretty well. They can do a good solo guitar. They can do a good chorus. They can sing well together sometimes. I feel like the song kind of does all that. And then I really like Acrobat. I'm not sure if the lyrics really go that well with the song, but I like the chorus. I feel like it's a really different, unique song for the for U2. I got a 3.25 song. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. I got a tie with Zoo Station for a tie between fourth or fifth. And then I got Love Is Blindness. It's moody. I think it's a little underrated in the right moment. I think it sneaks up on you, and if you give it your full attention, I think it's a strong album, a strong song. There's sometimes where maybe I don't want to hear it, but I think overall it's a very good song. I got 3 stars. So yeah, that's kind of song by song. Let's look at the overview. Um, yeah, so unfortunately, and maybe a little bit surprising, I didn't give any song a 4 star on this album. Which doesn't bode well for the overall average of the album. I will say it has six 3 star songs. So 6 very good songs, 4 good songs, and 2 okay songs, or yeah, six okay songs, right? Yeah, 6 okay songs. So it's 6 very good, 6 on the good to okay. So um, here's the overall, the good. It's a good rock album, really good rock album. I admire it for what they try to do. I have good memories of it for a live album, in that tour. It's got a good balance of all the types of songs they do. Um, I think the mastering, I'm sorry, the engineering, the producing is phenomenal. Brian Eno, Daniel Lanois, and Steve Lillywhite. How can you not have How can you have any better trio of producers producing your album. I mean, how can you not come up with a good album with those guys? Like, I got a chance to meet Steve Lillywhite in 1993. A really nice guy. I think he's from Australia. Maybe he's from UK, but he kind of has a thick accent. But Brian Eno, I think, is a great addition. Like, in my opinion, and Brian Eno doesn't get enough respect. Doesn't get enough respect for changing, for helping change, or changing, not changing like it was bad and then good, but changing in a different direction. David Bowie, I think he helped make U2. Like, if you listen to the first three albums of U2, Boy, War, and Gloria, you have a good rock band. But really not too much different than a lot of good rock bands for the time. There was a lot of good rock alternative bands in the 80s that were coming out of post punk, like, Big Country or Simple Minds, or, what I mean? There was a lot of, I don't know, XTC, a lot of good alternative bands that were coming out of UK in 81 to 84. But when they signed on Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois for Unforgettable Fire, they took off. Like it helped make them, and then they helped him with Joshua Tree, and then come back for Achtung Baby. Like they helped make U2's career. Like, I don't know where U2 would have been if it weren't for those guys, and certainly Steve Lillywhite with who produced the first three albums. Um, so again, really good production. Everyone in the band does a good job. I'm not overly concerned with Larry Mullen. People feeling like he's not a good bass player, or Larry Mullen. Yeah, sorry, Adam Clayton with not being a good bass player, or Larry Mullen not kind of being a sloppy drummer, or Edge just kind of doing what he does, and or Bono being kind of egotistical, and like I'm like listening to the music here. I'm not really like getting into their whole persona and ego, and you know it's rock and roll is a show, and U2 kind of made it entertaining. They made themselves more entertaining by being different, and this album is kind of a good example of them trying to be different, and try different things. Um, in some ways, it's way over the top, but that's rock music. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Cover art, imagery, packing is all great, for the album. It's all way above average. Just the production wise and everything is really strong. The opportunity for the album, not too much. It might be a little long, 12 songs. I don't know. It's definitely pushing 50 minutes. Over 50 minutes. So how could they have done this album to make it a little bit better? I feel like if you left off Cruel and you left off trying to throw your arms around the world, if you throw off that, you come to a more compact 10 songs. I feel like once you break it down to 10, there's like five pop ones and then five kind of abstract rock songs. Like the five abstract rock songs and sort of ballad, like Love is Blindness, Acrobat, Ultraviolet, right? And then maybe The Fly, and then maybe Until the End of the World or Zoo Station. And then you have the other album, which is a little more poppy, right? Which is One, Even Better Than the Real Thing, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, Mysterious Ways, right? So I feel like if they would have dropped it down to 10 and sort of maybe come up with a different style. I mean, Zoo Station works well as an opener, even better than the real thing. Even though I think the other ones are better songs. I think that is a strong second song, and then it goes into One, until the world brings it back up, and then Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, back into The Fly. That's all strong, but I feel like there could be a different, like sort of like an A and a B side, and the B side, or them just mix it around, and maybe it would definitely work better without those two songs. Um, when I tally up the overall ratings for the album, I got a 32 and a quarter stars. Divided by 12 songs, it's a 2.68 stars per average for the song, per song. So that kind of puts it in the 65 to 70 range, you know. But considering the quality of the recording, you know, there's a lot of good songs on here. There's a lot of good songs on here. Unfortunately, there's no. Unfortunately, I don't think the album's. In some ways, I do feel like the album has aged well, but I was really surprised to come back to listen to it. It's probably the first time I listened to it, maybe a year or so. Surprised to kind of come back to it and not rate anything a 4 star. Like I feel like, and then I really like looked at Mysterious Ways and Even Better Than the Real Thing, and I feel like they're not as strong as what I thought they were. You know, I would have thought I'd put them very good songs. You know, but I just can't. And Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? It's a good song, but I wouldn't say it's very good. It's a good song. Yeah, right in the middle of good and very good. So it's on the higher side of good. But you know, I still feel like this album is better than a 2.668 rating, and that I'm looking to the production and the overall mood of the album. Maybe this the combination of all the songs kind of give me a feeling that it's better than that. I feel like I needed to put it in the 70s. Like it's a very good album overall. I'm still kind of debating on the right number. I have it at 72 out of 100. That could drop to 70 out of 72. I don't think it goes in the middle of very good. It's on the lower side of very good, but I feel like, you know, again with my song rating, should equate to maybe around 67, you know, 66. But I do feel like the production and yeah, just you know, I feel like the overall, you know, maybe that is because there's extra 2 songs in there, sort of giving it, but it's actually lowering that score. And maybe if the 2 songs were off there, like I feel like then it would be a very good album. Could be a little bit of that. But I got it 72 out of 100. I'm okay with that score. I consider the importance of the album, you know what I mean? The artwork, the packaging. It's hard for me to not have great memories of the tour, um, you know, and add that sort of to the mystique of the album. Like when I listen to Zoo Station, especially, and then also Until the End of the World. I really like that song live. I can still remember that when it goes to the bridge of Until the End of the World. That's when he kind of walked out on the catwalk and he goes, la, la, kind of does that kind of solo and walks out. And I thought that was, I was just like, wow, this is, I love that part of the song and felt it went over really well. And yeah, I just have good memories of this album. You know, I really liked this album when it came out, and I still really like it. I don't know if it's gonna age as well as maybe I had hoped. Or it's interesting because you know, there was a while there where maybe it was sort of trending outdoing Joshua Tree in some kind of alternative rock kind of, you know, more artsy. You know, instead of just being a good rock album, you know, this was it was kind of ahead of the time rock album. So in some respect, it was kind of like maybe a little forward thinking, and you know, you maybe figured over time that it would grow, and I don't know if it's really grown. Um, you know, I think some of these songs were probably overplayed. I mean, they brought out one, two, three, four, five. There was 5 singles on this album. There could have been a sixth, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was in a different country. They had a sixth one. But I mean, you couldn't escape U2 for like a year. Maybe that's because Zooropa came out with Numb, and then Lemon, and then Stay Away Far So Close. Um, I guess there was only 3 singles on that album, but it just felt like you know, of course, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, whatever. The Batman song came after that too. That was '95 though, but for a couple years there, you could not escape a U2 video. You know, on MTV, you just could not escape. And so maybe I feel like the songs, maybe they were played so much, and I'm kind of a little, wouldn't say tired of them, but a little kind of waning on some of them that that I feel like I don't want to rank them higher than maybe they could be. And I think that really goes for even the Better and the Real Thing and Mysterious Ways. I don't think I could put one into 4 stars. Fly is really good, but I don't think it's excellent. And I feel good about the last 3 songs all being solid 3 stars and above, 3 1/4, 3.5, and 3. I like the ending of the album. There's a lot of times when I would listen to the first half of the song, fast forward to Fly, and then skip to Ultraviolet. You know, like I just passed Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, So Cruel, Mysterious Ways, Trying to Throw Your Arms Around the World. In a way, I feel like fast forwarding 4 of the songs and not listening to them. So it's hard for me to put this in the higher ranking than what it is. So I feel good about that. You know, I feel good about that rating overall. So just curious, you know, ending it out here. What would you score Achtung Baby, and do you have favorite 3 songs? My favorite songs again are The Fly. I rate one and Ultraviolet equally. It's hard for me to pick a favorite because one's a slow song and Ultraviolet's a different song. So hard for me to pick a strong one there, a favorite there. And then for tied for fourth, I have Zoo Station and Acrobat. And I feel good about that. Better memories about Zoo Station for sure, but because it's the opener on the tour. But I have a soft spot for Acrobat. I really like Acrobat. I think it's kind of like it is kind of like a Beatles alternative song to me. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Achtung Baby from 1991. 72 out of 100. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day.